Now, friends, I continued with ChatGPT by writing this. From this section, based on the suggestions you provided, can you write me a visual prompt? A prompt is a code necessary for creating the visual, friends. Writing the prompt is sufficient. So, you asked for suggestions above. You asked for a prompt for the suggestion. Look, can you write me visual example prompts in English related to what I said? It wrote these for me in 8 different ways. Look, it wrote them as prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3, prompt 4, and 5. I can improve my work by looking at these. Or if you're going to create 5 different or 3 different works according to what your customer wants, you can get inspired from here. You press the copy button for these prompts over there. It says copied. Look, I use the Ideogram AI site, friends. It provides a certain portion to you for free. Look, normally it creates visuals using these patterns in a bedroom like this. So you paste it here. Look, I deleted it over there. You pasted it here. The important part here is this. Turn off the magic prompt section. Make this part realistic. This part will be 16 by 9. When you say generate, it will have created this realistically for you, friends. And there are a few different prompts. Look, as you can see, it creates the visual for you from these prompts. Look, it has given the bedroom and color tones here, along with the wood tone. It has provided harmonious color tones. We can use these. There are different examples below. Look, it used a slightly different part in the back. In the back, it used texture, wallpaper. As you can see, it used a different variety. It made a bit of a difference here. We can apply the examples here to the design of our own bedroom. But since our design is a bit different, we can use the color and texture suggestions here. Look, there are different suggestions, friends. As you can see here, it has done different processes. It's quite nice. When we use these, we will get realistic and quality results, friends. In our work, I want to change the carpet part in the bedroom. In that thing. The carpet, looks very low quality, friends. That's why I'm selecting it with my eyedropper tool. From here, it went from this part to that part. Sorry, I'm going to the texture part over there. This is the carpet I have selected. I say replace with material. I went to the public section. There should be stained carpets, just as it appears in the same work, friends. Let's see. It says carpet here. Look, let's say replace. A bit different. I wish I hadn't said replace. I need to click on it and wait. Like this. Carpet. Click once. Wait, friends. It should show this, but why hasn't it changed? Shh. Oh my God, very interesting. Normally it should change it. Let's say close. Let's say replace with material again from here. Carpet. From the public section. I selected this one. It only changes the color. Let's select this one. Very interesting. If I apply it with texture, let's take this one. For some reason, it doesn't change it as such. Let's do it like this, friends. Let's go to the texture section and change it from there, for example. Let's do it like this. Let's go like this. I'm going from the texture section to the carpet section. Let's say import selection for this one, for example, and transfer it. Let's change it manually, because it didn't transfer, friends. I'm going inside like this. I'm selecting all of them. I'm transferring this, friends. I think there might have been an error in the UV map section. There might be a problem with the UV map. Because it's an organic surface, it might not have aligned it properly. Let's see. Yes, look. The texture has appeared now. But, of course, we will still need to use the UV map piece. For that, let's use the Sketch UV plugin. From the free view, from the toolbar. I clicked on this and came here. I said planar, friends. Since it's a flat surface, choosing planar would be logical. It will fix that part shortly. Yes? Look, the texture has come in quite nicely. However, it came in large. Let's reduce the size of the texture a bit. It will look nicer this way. Actually, it seems to have exceeded the work a bit. The feature of the colors here. We can use dark on the ground, or we can use white. We can also use the white pattern. We will take them, friends. I came to the select part from the edit section. Let me select the texture from here, friends. Let's change the part that says 200 in the edit section to 100 like this. Let's try and see how it will look. This is how it turned out at 100. Let's make it 80 or 30. 30 also looked big. Let's try 20 or 10. Yes, it looks ideal for now, friends. Not bad. I left it at 10. This kind of operation could be a bit larger. The embossed texture on top looks high. That's because of this, friends. You go to the settings section. Look, the bump part is at 2. Let's reduce it to 1 like this. Let's enlarge this a bit more. It seemed a bit too big or small to my eye. Let's make it 20, friends. I close this. Let's take a look like this. In this way, friends, by playing around, we will find the final thing. It resembled the texture here a bit. I'm trying to improve the work by using a different texture here and a different texture there, friends. During the work, we can use many coatings, many textures. This is somewhat up to our preference. Look, when I move the light to the back, there are some slightly dark areas here. We will intervene in those dark areas. We will provide light support, friends. We will provide light support here. There will also be light coming from the back. It will definitely come. Because the current situation is that the bedroom area is receiving somewhat limited light. But the current situation is quite nice. I mean, the scene and ambiance here are nice. We can change the wood texture here. These textures can be changed, friends. We can change these to be a bit more soft and smooth using commands like round corner, and bevel, friends. In the current situation, this area is not bad. We have a soft smooth effect here. The lines are visible. We will check if they are visible in the render. Look here, these parts. We can do them like this. Let's go to the settings. I am selecting the entire model. Let's click on this. From the Soften Edges section, friends, let's move this a bit forward. Look, it will appear like this. Let's go to the render and see how it looks. Yes, the lines there have become straight. This is the process. But we have a bit of a dark area here, so it would be ideal for a bit more light to come from behind the camera here. But the amount of light here looks quite nice and clean, friends.